Hey there guys, welcome to the video. Thank you very much for tuning in today. As you can see in the background, we're looking at an arc melee build today. Now, looking at a lot of explosions in the background there, a lot of blind, a lot of different effects happening. We'll go through it today, but as you can see, we're using the exotic item, an Insurmountable Skullfort. So we're going to be ripping through enemies with our melee back to back, lots of orbs generating, and that's going to happen alongside our exotic item, Lodestar. Now, this is going to give us the ability to jolt our enemies, make use of our fragments, and make sure that we're just using the build in its entirety. So let's get stuck into it, guys. We'll be going through everything today. Timestamps down below, so if you want to skip ahead, feel free to do so. But otherwise, let's get into it. All right, guys, let's have a look at our exotic armor piece first, because that's what we're going to be building everything around today. And that's going to be the Insurmountable Skullfort. So it's an exotic that's been around since Season 1 of Destiny 2, so it's a bit of an old one, but still a very good one. As you can see, the intrinsic perk, Transfusion Matrix, final blows with arc melees trigger health generation, and fully restore a melee charge. So that's on the final blows. Melee hits grant arc melee energy. So that's only when you hit, so not a final blow when you don't defeat an enemy, just a normal hit. And you can apply these percentages. So a powered melee hit that doesn't kill gives you 50% of your melee ability back. If you're just using a melee hit, but you've got knockout active, that's 15% back. And if you've got an unpowered melee, so just a standard punch or a glaive hit, that's 5%. So you're still getting some pretty decent numbers out of it, but you are aiming to destroy the enemy in one powered melee attack. Now, alongside this exotic armor, we're actually running two different two-piece sets of armor sets. So our different bonuses include Crota's Memory, the Cursed Fist, so it's a two-piece of the Crota's End raid armor, and the Legacy's Oath, so the two-piece augmented servos. Now, you can see the descriptions here make sense for the build we're going with. Crota's End, melee final blows trigger a Cursed Thrall explosion, and for augmented servos, powered melees release an additional disorientating pulse when used to defeat a target. So it's a little bit similar to blind. It's not the keyword itself, but it does effectively do something very similar, just to a lesser degree. Now, I know I just mentioned raid armor sets, and a lot of people don't raid, but look, I don't raid a lot either, guys, and I am no means a brilliant player or anything like that. Like, I really enjoy the game, but I'm not the best player at everything. I highly recommend just jumping in, having a go. There's a lot of really friendly people out there, so they'll guide you through it. Look, you probably will find people who aren't quite as nice. Look, that's just a fact of life. But I really recommend it, guys, because there's so much more to the game in these raids, these dungeons even. So give it a go. If it doesn't work out, hey, you tried, but at the least, give it a shot, because there's lots and lots of potential out there. All right, now we're going to look at our exotic trace rifle, Lodestar. Now, for those who don't know, it's just an arc trace rifle, but it doesn't use special ammo. It actually uses primary ammo, so you have unlimited ammo with this weapon. So pretty decent trade-off. It does a little bit less damage, but the fact that you don't run out is pretty cool. It does have a nice intrinsic trait as well. Starlight Beam. This weapon fires a low-intensity arc beam with enhanced stability and accuracy alongside the perk Arc Alignment. So dealing arc damage from any source aligns the battery's coils. Now, when you long press your reload button, it basically disengages the safety on the weapon and allows you to jolt enemies for a very short time. I mean, very short time. It's roughly about 5 or 6 seconds. You only get a little bit out of it. It's basically one full clip if you're quick enough, and then it's completely drained, ready for another recharge. Just while we're on the top of your weapons, I'm just going to show you what I was running alongside this build. Now, we've got High Albedo, which is the reprised sidearm from Beyond Light, I believe it was. And this used to be an adaptive, I think it was like a 2-burst sidearm. And now it's the only kinetic micro-missile frame in the game, I believe. I haven't come across any others, and I'm pretty sure that's what it said in the latest patch notes, that this is the only kinetic micro-missile frame. So if you'd like to get it, you just need to focus missions through Varix on Europa, and you'll be able to get it from there. The machine gun I'm running is a 450 RPM from the Crota's End raid. I managed to get this to drop with reconstruction and target lock, so really good combo of perks there. And look, you don't need to use this specific machine gun. I would recommend a machine gun in this build because there's 2 perks in the artifact that revolve around machine guns. If you don't want to run it, Obviously, make some changes where you need to, but that's where this build's going. Just because we mentioned the artifact, guys, let's go through it now. We've got the Tablet of Ruin. It's extremely good value, one of the best artifacts on offer. It's some great perks. Now we're using Hold the Line, Elemental Siphon, Dielectric, Photonic Flare, Flashover, Elemental Supercharger, and our last one is going to be Heavy Ordnance Regeneration. Now I'm just going to shy away from the build for a second here, guys. You can see in the background here, we get a nice big arc melee off, and then as we turn around, Screeves everywhere. There has to have been at least 7 or 8 there. Screeves are my absolute #1 most hated Banes that I can deal with in an activity. I'd love to know what your least favorite Bane to deal with is, but oh my god, these Screeves, these little Screeves. All right, that's enough of my complaining. Let's get back into it. So I've got the subclass. We're using Thunder Crash as the super. We've got our Thunderclap as the melee. We're using Flashbang as the grenade. And our aspects are Storm's Keep and Knockout. So Knockout being the big ticket one for this build. And that's because basically every time we proc this aspect, it's going to give us increased melee range, increased damage, and whilst we're amplified, it will give us health back whenever we defeat a target. So a lot of little different perks happening, and it's a great aspect to have on a melee-based build. Moving along to our fragments. Now, as you can see, we've got the Spark of Discharge, Spark of Beacons, Spark of Frequency, and the Spark of Irons. Now, all of these are going to give us ionic traces whilst using our weapons. Our heavy weapon will give us blinding explosions, and defeating a jolted target with bolt charge creates ionic traces as well. So it gives us our ability energy back if we need it. If we happen to miss the melee or not kill an enemy, that'll give us the ability energy we need to top it back up and have another go. Now let's look at our armor for the last thing, guys. Now, as we saw, using the Insurmountable Skullfort for the helm, we're using 3 of hands-on, so our super energy will increase drastically on melee kill. So that's perfect for our build today. We don't need to worry about arc siphons or anything like that because we're going to get that from our heavy-handed mods in our arms. Now, we're running triple of that. That will allow us to get an orb of power every second, no cooldown happening. Our chest, we've got 2 harmonic ammo generation. I know that one doesn't appear to be a harmonic ammo generation there, but rest assured, we're supposed to be using 2 of, alongside a melee damage resistance. Last couple of mods now. So we've got the legs. Now we're running 2 arc weapon surges alongside an ammo scavenger. That's just so we've got enough heavy ammo coming through for our machine gun and just topping up our damage across our arc weapons. In terms of the mark, we've got 1 class font. Now I've only got this because my class font, my class stats were quite low, so I've used this for that. And 2 outreach. Whenever you use your class ability, you get melee energy back. If you've got enough class stat points, I probably wouldn't run a font. I'd probably run 1-2 finisher. That way it'll consume your armor charge for melee energy, and that'll get it back happening a lot quicker as well. Just a quick chat about the stats. Now, in terms of stats, our melee needs to be as high as possible. I've gone with super as well because alongside Elemental Supercharger, that's where we get a nice bump to our super status as well. Now, in terms of other class stats, look, it's really up to yourself. I'd probably go weapons just so you get a bit more oomph out of your weapons. You can use anything though, guys. I really just prioritize melee and super first of all and see what else works for you guys. All right, guys. Well, that's going to be the build for today. Look, bit of a basic one, but look, I've always enjoyed the power of fantasy of just throwing out a thunderclap and absolutely smashing enemies. So I hope this does it for you alongside the supporting weapons. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys would change. I'm getting a lot of good feedback from other builds where people suggest some really interesting stuff. I've gone and tested a lot of this stuff myself, and it makes a lot of sense. There's a lot of good changes I can put in these builds, but I really enjoy the feedback that I get off of you guys. So keep commenting, keep liking the videos, and look, all these subscribers, guys, you are absolutely smashing it. We're up to about 1,400 now as of today's video. I think we're just underneath. So yeah, your support means a lot, guys. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, look, I think everyone's very positive. Everyone helps each other out. I've seen some comments where people are asking for help, and before I even get to them, someone else has answered it. So it's really good to see. So look, I'll leave you with it, guys. I hope you have a great rest of your day, but I'll see you in the next one.